Shalom, 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 shalom. First and foremost, giving infinite praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ruchakwadash. Giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Shalom and salutation to all you sincere Akim across the four winds, pushing this truth with sincerity of heart. I'm your fellow servant, Kasama God from the DC camp, coming at you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Ruchakwadash, for the elect. Now, in this lesson, we're going to deal with the fake world. All right, the title of this lesson is The Fake World is a Fake World. As we know, as Hebrew Israelites, all right, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've been living in a world that was constructed, that was manufactured by our enemy. All right, our enemy is who? It's Esau, Esau, all right, and the Edomites. All right, who is Esau? Esau is the father of the Edomites. Who are the Edomites? The Edomites are the so-called Europeans, the so-called white man, so to speak. All right, the so-called European man. Those are the Edomites. All right, and they've been in rulership for going on like 800 years, and they've manufactured a world, to basically imprison the nation of Israel primarily, and then of course the rest of the nations. And this world has been the systematic application or implementation of this world has been pushed down from generation to generation, not only amongst us Israelites, but also amongst their own children, all right, amongst the lower class Edomites. Because remember, if you want to deceive your enemy, you must also deceive your friends. I mean, that's part of that's a tactic, that's a military tactic that has been used for centuries. For you to deceive your enemies, you must also deceive your friends, meaning your allies. Most of your allies can't know the real plans that you got going on, because if they do know, some of them will turn. As you see right now, you got a lot of Edomites that are turning against this fake world that their own elite Edomites have established. Right, they call themselves Tradcons, conservatives. Right, they're calling out the New World Order and so on and so forth, because they realize that this world was always fake. The American dream and so on and so forth was a manufactured world. But the nation of Israel, the primary reason why this world was manufactured, the majority of our people refused to wake up. They refused to wake up out of sleep. They enjoy the degeneracy that comes with being in this fake world. All right, and as prophets, our job is to come out and the highways and the edges, and also, through edification, day to day, day and night, to basically expose this world, all right, and every facet of this world. And, regardless of what comes at us, the trials and the tribulation, the temptation and the test, our job is to continually expose this fake world until our Savior, Yahweh, shall come back. All right, so that's another saying right here. It says, trying to live a genuine life in a fake world. All right? And every Israelite who has awakened to this truth, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because this is basically how we live. We're trying to be genuine, in a fake world. And when I say fake world, we're talking about the system. We're talking about the manufactured families that we were given. All right, I call it the FFA. I think it's family, friends, and associates. FFA. All right, you have family. Well, matter of fact, you can start with a G, right? You can say GFFA. All right, that's what you surround your life upon. Your life has been really ran through GFFA: God, family, friends, and associates. Now, the God that you've been worshiping for the most part as a so-called Negro, Hispanic, and Native American coming up was a God of Christianity, right? A so-called white God, and the son being a so-called white man as well. All right, so then after that, you have family. So you would give it what looks like family, blood-related family. But then if you really understand the concept of family, you would understand that what you got going on is just a group of people with the same blood. Family means deeper. It's much more deeper than just, having the same blood. Family comes with living in the real truth, and with the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah, and everything that comes with that, and the love and the order that comes with that. And so you look around your family, you don't see that. You don't see order. You don't see truth. What you see is just generational lies passed down, and then you see chaos and destruction because you don't really have a family. You know what I'm saying? And you have friends. You look at your so-called friends that you grew up with, dudes that you couldn't trust. You know, you couldn't trust to be alone with your woman. You know, dudes that you couldn't trust to get with your money, right? So you had snakes that you call friends, right? You called frenemies, you know. But you thought that you had actual friends, but those weren't friends. They just carry the title. That's to say these things just carry titles, but they're not. It's not the real authentic thing. And then you have associates, the people that you work with, from your boss. If you self-employed, then you know you don't have to have associates. When you might have people that work for you, you still got to deal with them and their attitude and their mindset and their degeneracy, right? But if you most of us work for somebody, so you got to work with associates. You got to go to work with people that you don't want to deal with. You got to laugh and smile with people that you don't want to smile with. You got to be in conversations with degenerates, right? With animals, with beasts. You know, say you try not to partake in that, but you don't want to be ostracized and looked at as that weirdo, because that's just going to make things even more difficult. All right, so this is the reality that comes from being in the truth. And I was thinking about it, man. One of the things that came through my mind is this old school movie from George Orwell, They Live. All right, 1998, They Live. And then we just going to play like a little clip. I think it's a 3-minute clip. I'm going to say fair use, fair use. All right, this is for educational purposes. So let's play this right quick, all right? My man he was living a fake life. And now he got the glasses to see through. And he's realizing, man, you've been living in a fake world, man. Oh, shit. And work 8 hours. Look at that. That's what you call programming right there, man. Social engineering. There you go. Right there. Look at that. Stay asleep, obey. All right. And that's why you have a hard time when you dealing with the majority of Israelites, man, and trying to preach this word. You know, the biggest pushback that you get is from your own people. A prophet is not loving his own country. All right, the biggest pushback is our people, because they've really been programmed, and you know, to really believe that the life that they're living is a real life. When everything when you come into this truth, you have to realize you were lied to from the minute you came out of the matrix. All right, the matrix means what? Your the mother's womb. The word matrix means womb. So the minute you came out of that matrix, that womb of pleasure, you got into an even bigger, crazier matrix. All right, and you still in the cocoon. You really haven't awakened, to be honest. From the minute you came out of your mother's womb, you know, you came into a world and you went right back to see. You continued to be asleep. So you really don't awake until the Spirit of the Lord, you know, comes upon you. And then you start to understand the scriptures, and then you start to look around and be like, hold up, man. The God that I've been worshiping has been a false God. I've been an idol worshiper for over 20 years, man. For decades, you're like, man, I've been an idol worshiper for decades. And how does that sit in your spirit as an Israelite? You know, and the whole time you was reading the Bible, reading about the Israelites like this afar off people, you're like, man, those Israelites, man, they were really going on, man. Like they just wouldn't stop. And then you looking at the book being taught from Christians lens as, hey man, you a Gentile, and because those Hebrew Israelites messed up and couldn't get their act together, because they were big time idol worshippers. Well, you a Gentile, you get the opportunity to sneak, to get in there, which that again, that's the Christianity bullshit, right? And then come to find out, man, you are the Hebrew Israelite that's been an idol worshiper for decades, man. And then you like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, it's just lies and deception. Check this out.
What's your problem? I said, what's your problem?
Oh boy's a whole machine. You're a whole demon. And you got a whole bunch of people like that. They're walking around. They just straight up demons.
Thank you, sir.
And you looking at them and they're looking at you like, what the fuck you looking at? I'm like, woof. You could see the demons oozing out of my
Here you are,
face.
sir. Thank you. Hey, buddy. You gonna pay for that or what?
This is your
Look, buddy. I don't want no hassle today. Either pay for it or put it back.
Yeah. So basically, that's the little clip right there. Again, fair use, fair use. 'Cause sometimes they'll give you a copyright for playing these clips. But that's hey, listen, that's George Orwell. They Live. All right. If you want to check out the whole thing, you should. Very, very, very interesting. This is Isaiah chapter 59:15. It says, yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. All right. And I mean, so there's a lot of again, the society is full of lies and deception. And when you stand up and you stand out against the wickedness and the degeneracy, everybody's against you. All right, your own family, right? Again, the GFFA, right? The so-called the God that you used to worship, Christianity, is against you, and everybody, all the family members that take part of that lifestyle, they're against you. The friends that take part of that lifestyle, they're against you, and then the associates, if they happen to find out that you ain't really rocking like everybody else, eventually they start to look at you funny. All right, because to be honest, man, we try the best we can to be as Clark Kent when we at the office, man. But after a while, man, some of those things do slip out. All right, unless you just decide to be a whole mute, it's very hard to have conversations with these people and not at least once just slip out or say something where they looking at you like, well, damn, okay, that's a different mindset. And then you're like, oh shit, I just said something, and they're noticing that I'm different. So now you gotta try to wiggle your way out of what you just said and act like, oh, you just another dumb zombie just like him. It's tough, man. It's tough, but this is part of the battle. All right, but we rather be awakened than to be asleep with the masses. All right, because the masses, they're gonna be judged. Verse 16, and he saw that there was no man and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness is sustaining him. All right, so at the end of the day, man, the Lord's gonna sustain us, man. This is very stressful, stressful journey for sure. But at the end of the day, man, we know we got a lesson. We got a lesson that's burden. We got to lighten the load. All right, you got to understand that you live in a fake world, and once you embrace that, and you really just focus on this word and the mission at hand, not to say that things will get easy, but they're not. Things. Listen, the going is always going to get tough, but the one thing you don't want to do is make a tough path tougher than what it already is. All right, so you gotta be able to cut these things off, man, because this fake system is only on this fake system is in the final stage of its development. Because remember, this system started off with the American dream, the family where you bust your ass to be a corporate slave, and then you get you get into this monogamous situation with a whore who's had multiple sexual partners, and then you get to have some children with the whore, and then you get a house and a car. Like that was the dream. And then feminism came in, kind of effed that up. You know what I'm saying? And then the new dream became, hey man, you get you a feminist wife, a feminist whore wife that's gonna be bickering and talking shit, and your children gonna be out of order. I mean, and now it's come to the point now where it's like, all right, the future is transhumanism, transgenders, homosexuality, alternative lifestyles, man. So clearly things are just developing and becoming worse and worse. So at some point you got to unplug. This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 1. The upper title says, put on a new self. It says, if ye then be risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Right, because the things of the earth are fake, man. I know there's certain things we doing because we gotta do what we gotta do, man. But like we can't forget, man, everything around us is fake. The only real thing is this truth and the brotherhood and this truth, man. You know what I'm saying? And the affiliates of the truth. When I say the affiliates, you have individuals like that may not necessarily be part of the brotherhood, but they support the brotherhood, they support the prophets. So they part of the real family. Everything else is effing bullshit, bro. It's fake. It's fake, man. So when you find you start stressing out about things, sometimes you gotta fall back and be like, hey man, why in the world am I worried about this fake shit? Why am I allowing this fake shit, this fake person that calls themselves my family? Why am I allowing this fake person, this fake family member to stress me out, to live rent free in my head, man? All right. It says for verse 3, it says, for ye are dead and your life is hid with Hamashiach in the Most High. When Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with them in glory. So Yahushua is our life. And what is Yahushua's purpose? It's the awakening of the election. All right. So then your life purpose, if Yahushua is your life, then your life purpose becomes ultimately about the awakening of the hopeful elect. That's what it's about. All right, saying it ain't about building families and doing this and doing that and getting involved in this and getting involved in that. That's all fake shit. And the more you get involved into this fake stuff, you're gonna grow an affinity or an attachment to these things. And all around you, everything around you, you have to understand, whether you know it or not, everything around you that's not connected to your whole body, connected to this truth. All of those different things lead ultimately to the mark of the beast. All right, they are all connected, from the false god of Christianity or Islam or whatever god you would worship in your idolatrous times. Those gods and the values that those gods put on your family, right, and your friends and your associates, all of it is linked ultimately to the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, because that's where it's going. Ultimately, the whole fake shit around us, that's what it's going to. It's going towards that. That's the end game. The end game is for you to get microchipped. That's why Esau created this fake lifestyle, fake families, fake friends, fake associates, fake gods, to ultimately lead you to this microchip for you to get chipped up. All right. Verse 5, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. All right, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh from the children of disobedience. All right, and that's the 2/3. The reality is, man, this message is always going towards the hopeful elect. 2/3, which is the majority of Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they're gonna mock at this. They're gonna laugh at it because they fully plugged, they fully given into the image of the beast, the system, this fake world, and they enjoy it. All right, they enjoy it. Revelation 19 and 20, it says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. So you have a whole system built. Power is built around this system, man. I mean, it's so bad. Like even the lower level rulers push that lifestyle on you. The monogamous, they pushing monogamy, and in feminism, they shun polygamy, but uplift homosexuality. They push transgenderism, all right, but they shun order, all right. So they talking about how monogamy is good for the family and the upbringing of the children, but then they shun a man having this so-called monogamous wife in order. So, so you're like, well, what's going on? Why would they do that? Well, because it's about confusion. And when your household is confused and the people around you are confused and bringing confusion into your life, what you have is a societal breakdown. And then degeneracy creeps in. And when degeneracy comes in, society collapses. And when society collapses, that means the currency has fallen apart. That means you need a brand new currency. And the new currency comes with the control of the spirit, the mind, and the body of the people. All right? Because the greatest the greatest commodity, Salakia, the greatest commodity known to man will still be people, aka human slaves. There's no greater commodity in the entire planet. It's not even gold, it's not even silver, none of that. The greatest commodity in the history of humankind still is people, human slaves. The Rothschilds and the Rockefellers understand it, and ultimately Yahweh Ba'ashim understands it. That's the reason why when the nation of Israel is victorious by the hand of Yahweh Shai, guess what we're going to have? Above all, the biggest riches that we're going to have is the possession of the nations, of everybody else on earth becoming our slaves and our commodity. All right? And that is the real world, not some equality bullshit, that people talk about. Revelation 19 and 20, again, it says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. So this fake world, you have people that worship this image. They worship this world. They love it, man. They love it. You look at the Super Bowl ceremony, the latest Super Bowl over there in Las Vegas. I seen videos of people on YouTube, and these people are loving this, man. The madness that I seen in the videos is like nobody's calling this shit out. It says these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone, and that's the end of it. At the end of the day, if you continue to buy into this society and the foundations of this wicked system and lifestyle, man, you're going to end up being cast alive into a lake of fire. AKA, you will suffer death, horrible death, via thermonuclear missiles. And the upcoming Third World War, at the climax of it, as we know, Russia, China, and Iran, and also parts of NATO, are going to shoot thermonuclear missiles right here in the United States. And that's how the United States, a.k.a. the virgin daughter of Babylon, is going out. Thus saith the scriptures. Revelation 19 and 21, and the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon a horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. right? And that's talking about your house shot. So the people that don't, because not everybody's gonna get smoked out by thermonuclear missiles. For the remnant, they're gonna be individually sucked out by the angels, and they're gonna be evaporated by laser beams coming out of the chariots, aka UFOs. I mean, this is the true understanding of the scriptures, and we praise Yahweh Shemyan Shah for having this knowledge. Now let's deal with the word image. It says piece of statuary, artificial representation that looks like a person or a thing. And the main thing right here that we want to focus on is artificial representation of a thing. And that's the point in this lesson. The world that we live in, the people around you, unless it's the truth for Yahweh Bashim Ashai and the brotherhood and the affiliates of the brotherhood, the helpers, the people that help the prophets, whether it be mother and father and friends, whatever. Everything else and everybody else, man, baby moms, all these people that are a thorn in your side, all these people are a artificial representation. All right, so if you got a baby mother that's trying to destroy you, don't have you can't look at that woman as like, well, that's a mother and my child. Nah, you have to understand that you're dealing with an enemy. If you have brothers, so-called family members that's coming against the word, and but they coming in the so-called in the snake manner, you got to understand these are enemies. These are enemies, man. And you got guys that struggle with that. You got guys that have a hard time cutting people off. I mean, when the Lord, you gotta pray that the Lord gives you the ability and that cold hard, man. When you just cut people off, it's all right to cut people off, man, and move on, man, and act like they never existed. It's all right to do that. If you can't do that, man, you're gonna have big problems. You're gonna have big problems. So artificial representation that looks like a person or a thing. So now that we dealing with artificial, well, guess what? Let's deal with the word artificial in Adam Online. It says not natural or spontaneous. All right, it says work of art. Now, what I want to look at is right here. It says let me see. Human skill, two-face. You see right here. It says artificial insemination, which this is fake pregnancy. You know what I'm saying? And then you have artificial intelligence. And ultimately that's what's going back. That's what this is going towards, is artificial intelligence, AI. All right. And this is how Esau does this thing, man. I mean, if somebody would have told you, man, the American dream where, back in the 50s where you had to get a wife, a whole wife, in a monogamous relationship with children and a white picket fence and a car. If somebody told you that plan all the way back then was always at the back end, it was always for the generations to come to eventually have to, embrace artificial intelligence, you'd be like, well, what's the link? What it was the link. You just got to look at the generations from the 50s towards now and see how society has slowly but surely moved in a very chaotic, like Esau made it so that, the human race, I'm going to use the word human race, the human species would really hate. He gets us so confused that all of a sudden you start to really distrust the work of the Lord, which is the creature. All right, the creature of the Lord, the so-called, because the Heavenly Father created the human species. Now, he does have a chosen people, which the ultimate creature is the nation of Israel. But when you get to the point where you like, hey, man, humans are so effed up, man, we gotta deal with robots, man. We gotta have robotic arms and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to evolve. What are you talking about, man? But it's all linked. It's all linked, man. It's all linked to turn you into a high-tech slave. You got people out here running around with nice cars and phones and all this other shit, man, all this technology. And I'm just looking at you like, man, you're a high-tech slave. Slavery comes in different forms, man. And the most devastating element of slavery is spiritual and mental slavery. All right? And it shows in your body, and that's why you have artificial intelligence. It says artificial intelligence makes it possible for machines to learn from experience, adjust to new inputs, and perform human-like tasks. And you would say, well, how does that link with the whole family thing, the God? Well, artificial intelligence immediately tells you, well, there is no God. So now you get into that realm now, because this is the end game. We're not playing no more games. This is the end game. The end game is Esau saying there is no God. Psalms 14:1. So now you got to scratch off the God of the Christianity that he got you started off with. He got you started off with the God of Christianity because he knew it would have been rough for you to go from decades and centuries of believing in a God of Christianity to say, now we're going to do robotics. Esau has had this technology 150 to 100 years in advance, but kept it from you because he knew you wasn't ready. That's how the devil is. He takes his time. He's patient. So now that you confused with God, you see all this degeneracy, you got to love your homosexual child. It kind of puts you in a conundrum with the scriptures. Eventually you scrap the scriptures. So now it's like, okay, well, machines. And then when you start accepting this thing right here, man, AI and the market, man, the whole life is going to change, man. Your whole life is going to change. Your perception of reality is going to change. And then Heavenly Father warned us of this. It's just the ancient texts, man, there's no way they were going to be this detailed. You're not going to find, well, AI is going to arise in the last days. Nah, it was never going to be like that. That's why the Spirit has to, basically show you and explain to you, what the scripture was talking about. Let's look at some of these things right here, man. This is crazy, man. Check this out. Let's check this out right here.
Look at my lip movements. They are AI generated.
Look at my lip movements and head movements while idling. They are AI generated.
Look at my eyebrows, lip movements, and head movements. They are AI generated.
Look at my eyes, eyebrows, nose, lip movements, and head movements. They are all AI generated.
See? It's not even a real person. So you got these motherfuckers right here, and you can see that, man. Like, these are not real people. So you're going to have friends that are not real friends. Talking about the GFFA, right? The God, family, friends, and associates. You're going to have friends. Now you enter in a world where you're going to have family that's not real family, man. Just made up characters. You're going to have, associates that are not associates. You're going to have people, you're going to get in an interview talking to a person in the interview online for a job, and it's not even a real person. It's a representative of a company, man, and it's not even a real person you're talking to. And you interacting with this person, man. You interacting with this thing, with this binary code, like it's a real person. That's the world that you want to live in. That's the world that you're choosing. A fake world, man. Nah, man, come on, bro. Come on, man. What the fuck? Ooh, what was that? But anyways, man, let's go to the next. Let's go to the next precept. This is Psalms chapter 26. And at the end of the day, man, this is where we stand, man. I personally, you know what I'm saying, through the Spirit, and I know the brothers that are sincere, man, we don't want none of this bullshit, man. This is Psalm 26, and I'm gonna start at 2, and it says, ooh, I like that upper title. Protestation of integrity and prayer for protection. Yeah, man. You gotta keep your integrity, right? It says, verse 2, it says, examine me, O Lord, and prove me, try my reins and my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. Right? We walk in the truth, which is hard, man. It's the hardest thing you will ever have to do in your life, man. Walk in the truth in a fake world, man, a world of wickedness. It says, I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. And that's the mindset we have, man. We in this world, but we're not a part of this world, man. Every day you wake up, like how long until, Lord, like how long till you collapse this thing? There's no way, like come on, Verse 6, I will wash my hands in innocency, so will I compass an altar, O Lord. Right? We don't want no parts of this thing, man. We don't want no parts of this thing, this fake world, that I may publish with the voice of thanksgiving and tell and tell of all thy wondrous works. Lord, I have loved the habitation of thy house and the place where thine honor dwelleth, right? And that's where we are spiritually. We're in the house of the Lord, all right? We hope to be a part of the elect, all right? Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men. Right, meaning don't have us mix up with these mixed nuts out here and put us all in this pot when you get ready to blow this place to smithereens. Because we clearly are showing that we don't want no parts of this shit. In whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity, redeem me, and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. Well, basically 10 toes down, man. Like Jake like to say, 10 toes down. When you stand in an even place, that means you got your 10 toes in an even stand. So we standing 10 toes down, man, in this truth. You know, and that's till the end, till death or deliverance, right? In the congregation will I bless the Lord. Hebrews chapter 1, verse 3, it says, who, being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person, right? Express image of his person, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high. So Yahweh Shai is the express image. All right? And that's the image that we follow. Not an image of AI and robotics and having robotic arms and shit and walking around with some antennas sticking out of your dome, you know what I'm saying, and being a high-tech slave to the Rothschilds and the Rockefeller family, you know, talking to made-up characters, right? Your supervisor is a whole made-up robot, man, robot character. And you having a full-blown conversation with a made-up character online telling you what to do. And you're like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Like, I mean, just the thought of you speaking to a being who's not a being, but you're supposed to acknowledge this thing as a being is utterly ridiculous. Verse 4, being made so much better than the angels as he has by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. All right. So, hey, man, All right, we're going to close out with this. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 15. For all things are for your sakes, that the abundant grace might through the thanksgiving of many redound to the glory of the Most High. For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. Right, you know, because the reality is, man, this flesh is being extremely seduced to partake into the madness of this world. I mean, we have to acknowledge that. That's why we have a war in our members. All right. So but every time we withhold, every time we resist, there's a saying, resistance is the key to growth. So every time we resist, there's, you know, we growing spiritually and we dying. The carnal side is dying daily. All right. Verse 17, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Yeah, man, I'd rather have a whole bunch of real women, soft, supple women from all the tribes and all the nationalities, you know what I'm saying, that I could touch, feel, kiss, hold, all that, instead of having a bunch of goddamn robots. You know what I'm saying? Sleeping in the bed with a damn robot and having a full-blown conversation with a female, well, so not female, but a robot, a machine that I call my wife, my partner. Get the fuck out of here, man. And I'm all chipped up talking to this thing, man. And I'll say, hey, brother, hey, you coming to the house? You coming to see me and my wife? And then they come to the house and this machine, man, listen, man, bruh. 2 Corinthians 4:18. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. So yeah, man, that whole madness about being married to a damn machine and all that bullshit, being chipped up, man, Esau thinks that he's going to be able to establish all of that. The Lord's going to shut that shit down, man. All right? And so we know that without a doubt. So with that, I'm going to say, Kal Halam La, Yahweh Ba'Shem El Shah Ba'Shem, Wachakwadash, giving double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom and salutation to all you sincere occupant across the four winds, pushing the truth for sincerity of heart. Stay strong, stay faithful, stay watchful. Shalom.